Hello, my name's Ian Rose, and this is my presentation on foods and how different foods that you eat in your everyday life could be linked to diseases without you even knowing. The documentary that I chose for my presentation was What the Health on Netflix, and I chose this because I wanted to see how the food that me and my family have been eating has been affecting our health without us even knowing that it has been affecting us. And I've not done any previous research in this topic or watched this documentary before, so all the information in this was brand new to me, and it was very interesting to learn about the food that I've been eating and how it's been affecting us. Now, logos are arguments based on facts, and the facts that they used in this presentation were that the World Health Organization did a study from many different places and showed how processed foods were bad for you. And ethos are arguments based on big political figures or big figures and places of authority like news stations. And in this documentary, they actually used news stations to show how processed foods were bad and all the reports that they had done on processed foods to show how bad they were to the public. And pathos are arguments that are based on emotion. And one of the example of this was at the beginning when the guy had told people how the processed food that him and his family had been eating had been affecting them without them even knowing. And that's why many people in his family had died, because they were eating such bad food without even knowing they were eating bad food. The statistic from this film that shocked me the most was the statistic that the World Health Organization had done so many studies from so many different places, and it had all come back with the same conclusion, and that led them to place processed foods in the same category as many different very harmful substances like asbestos and cigarettes, showing how processed foods was just as bad as using cigarettes. And that really impacted me because it was something that I knew. I've been eating processed foods, and I didn't know just how bad they were for me and my family, and that was really important to me to learn that. And they even went as far to show how 2/3 of the population was being impacted by obesity and was being hurt by it, and they really just showed how much people were being affected by it and how many people were being affected by it. And they consistently came back with the same data and the same conclusion that processed food was bad for you. And they even brought out graphs and data to show that people were getting too much of some things from the processed foods, and that's why it was so bad for you, because people were getting too much of the wrong things, and it was more than the recommended amount per every meal or per the amount that you were eating. So it was really bad for you. I think that the target audience for this is people that want to eat healthier or are trying to learn what in their diet is really hurting them and how they can be healthier. And I think that this documentary did a really good job of showing how people can be healthier and eat healthier. Now, I do agree with the statements from this, and I think they did a really good job backing up all the evidence they had and using all the evidence they had to show their claim and produce their claim. And it really did affect me to think from, oh, processed foods, they're okay to eat every now and then, to processed foods are really just bad for you, and we should try to find other substitutes for processed foods in our everyday meals. After watching the film, I would like to know how other industries like the soda industry and other people that make things for consumption, how all those things are negatively impacting us. But I still think that they did a good job of portraying their idea. And they didn't really show the other side of the story that much, but I still don't believe that they were biased, because they really just backed up with facts. They didn't really use their emotions. They just used facts to show their idea. And I think they did a really good job of that. That was my presentation on how food can be linked to diseases. Thank you. Ball.